We go back 15 years into the past. Price was a lieutenant back then, doing some wet works in Pripyat, Ukraine. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys all know what happened there on April 26, 1986, right? The Chernobyl disaster. Anyway, Price explains how it is Christmas for the bad guys, as decades later, these motherfuckers are using the place to get their hands on nuclear material, including punk-ass Imran Zakhaev. Price wasn't going to let that shit happen, though. Cash spent for fuel rods? Fuck that. That is a huge recipe for destruction. Price states that it was the first time the government had authorized an assassination order since World War II, and he was now under the command of Captain MacMiller. MacMiller observes the forward area and comes to the conclusion that we have to go around. While on the move, we must stay low since we are in enemy territory. There are pockets of radiation all over this bitch, and if we absorb too much, we will be dead as fuck, just like Sergeant Paul Jackson. We make it to a shed near a house occupied by some hostiles, and MacMiller tells me to stand by while he scopes it out. I go with him anyway because I don't give a fuck. We see two fools on patrol. MacMiller says to stay low and move slowly, as it will be impossible to spot in our ghillie suits. He then gives me the order to take down one while the other isn't looking. I decide I'm gonna go do my own thing, so I attempt to rapidly take both of them out. But somehow, the second guy, in an instant, is able to alert his homeboys. We get spotted, and I low-key get cooked by a dog. Attempt number 2. I see one guy playing on his phone, probably playing Pokemon Go or some shit like that, when the other one keeps moving forward. I shoot the Pokemon Go guy, and as soon as that happens, the other one is able to alert everyone.
Bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
I then get eaten by a dog again. Attempt number 3. I try to get a 2-for-1, but I must be shooting a 22 caliber rifle because the other guy survives and alerts everybody in an instant. So I just restart. Attempt number 4. I just shoot one right off the bat, and MacMiller takes out the other one. So I was confused as to how come he wasn't shooting the other 3 attempts. Moving forward, I knife this guy's body because fuck this guy. We make it to the house and there are 4 tangos inside. MacMiller says, don't think about it, which I don't, because I ain't stupid. Sort of. MacMiller spots a hostile by the car, and then he says we can either clap him, pause, or let him pass. You probably know my choice. We climb over this fucked up ass fence to a church with a lookout in the tower and a patrol north of our position. MacMiller asks me if I could take a shot on the guy in the lookout. I take aim, and I smoke him. Then, I have a choice to either let the guy live or let the guy die. I think you know which one I chose. Now inside the church with the close clear, I check up on the tower and find some intel when MacMiller asks me if I could hear that. Right after that, this big ass chopper comes flying by, but luckily he doesn't see us. Now moving through the field, jumping over this pipe, MacMiller tells me to get down. Now we both have to maneuver through this big ass convoy without getting spotted. Anyway, we get out and notice some hostiles by a truck dumping bodies out. We move up for a better view. MacMiller says taking him out isn't going to be easy, but neither is sneaking past. So I decide we're just going to have to kill him. I take out one hostile sitting in the back doing fuck knows what. And before I get to the second one, MacMiller steals my kill. Then at the same time, we both shoot at the guys by the truck. Moving through the container's Fortnite POI, MacMiller knocks out the patrol guard by trolling his ass. I notice his gun, and he has a suppressed P90. Give me your shit, bitch. We make it through and hear another chopper flying overhead, but luckily he doesn't see us either. Opening the container, we notice that there's at least 100 guys with guns out there. We make a run for it, and we get into some cover behind some of their jeeps. Then we have to crawl under their big ass trucks without getting spotted by any of the patrols moving along them. With the coast clear, we run for it. Somehow, these guys don't see us.
I'm kind of retarded.
They might just be high as fuck from all the radiation in the area. MacMiller sees a sniper on the fire escape 4th floor of the building dead ahead. I take him out and he falls hella goofy.
Look at this place.
MacMiller starts talking about how this place used to have 50,000 people and now it's a ghost town. Tragedy shit.
Seen anything like it.
You can even hear kids screaming for help. That's fucked up.
Move.
But that's not even the worst part. Because while all that is happening, this other big ass chopper comes blowing through the fucking area, picking up all the dust, and it's fucking my whole day up. Anyway, we make it to the hotel, so we head for the top floor, waiting for Imran Zakhaev.
To observe the exchange from the top floor up there. Let's move.
Price and MacMiller patiently wait for Imran Zakhaev at the Policia or whatever the fuck hotel for approximately 72 hours. MacMiller says that the meeting is underway as enemy transport has been seen entering the area. So, I take control of a M82 50 caliber sniper rifle. Zakheav is gonna be so fucked. MacMiller then proceeds to say a lot of bullshit that I didn't give a fuck to listen to. So I'm gonna just say what he kinda said. Basically, the wind is fucked. I can wait for it to calm down, or I can compensate as he might leave early. He also talks about the stuff that he taught me, but I don't remember none of that shit. And after that, he just continues to say more bullshit. We get a positive ID of Imran Zakhaev holding this fat ass briefcase full of gold bricks. That motherfucker is built. He gets to talking about some probably actual important bullshit when this big ass chopper shows up blocking my view. Coming to think about it, how many fucking choppers do these guys have? Because we see one every like 5 minutes since this mission has started. Anyway, the chopper leaves. Zakheav looks pissed, and then I decide I'm gonna take the shot. Boom! And I fucking miss. So I continue to fire, and I'm missing every single shot. However, I move over to this other Jeep, and I shoot, and I take down Makarov, but the mission fails nonetheless. Attempt number 2. I simply fire instantly and it blows his fucking arm off, which doesn't make sense because he's getting hit by a 50 cal. His ass should be fried. Anyway, I try to take a shot at Makarov, who's in the Jeep, and I miss all my shots, so he gets away, which leads to the events of Modern Warfare 2 and 3. The big ass chopper from before spots us, so I have to shoot it down with one shot.
It's time to move.
Now MacMiller and I gotta get the fuck out of the hotel building ASAP. No Rocky. We barely escaped the building before getting our shit blown out. Pause. The girl from Squid Games wasn't so lucky.
This is not right. This is not cool. This is fucking bullshit.
Anyway, we get to the ground floor and we have to haul ass to the extraction point without getting our asses shot off by a bunch of pendejos with guns.
Follow me. Delta 2-4. This is Alpha 6. We have been compromised. I repeat, we have.
With 20 minutes to get to the extraction point, we have to fight our way through the streets. I take down some hostiles up front,
20 minutes. Don't be late. We're stretching our fuel as it is. Out.
then notice some advancing from our right flank. I take down 3. I reload and I make a push forward. MacMiller says that we need to forget about these guys, but I can't while they're shooting at my ass. I make it to some cars on the left side, and I snipe the small team pushing my position coming out of the chopper. When I notice the car is on fire, in the process I get hit and I back up to avoid the explosion, and it finishes the rest of the hostiles off for me. However, as soon as I turn around, I hear a grenade and I see a bunch of dudes shooting at me, and I pass away. I charge my way through, barely escaping, taking care of any of the enemies in my way, when MacMiller tells me that we can lose them in the apartments ahead. Moving through the apartments, we meet this nice dog, and I shoot his ass, cause fuck that dog. We then meet some hostiles. MacMiller tells me to put a claymore by the door. MacMiller snipes one and the other gets his shit blown up by the claymore I placed in the door. Exiting the apartment, MacMiller notices some guys trailing behind us. So I get into cover, I aim, and I fire. And this last guy right here thought we couldn't see him in the grass, before I blow his shit off. Now while that's all happening, a chopper comes flying by, and we need to take it down by sniping at it. So together, me and MacMiller take it down, and it crashes. However, MacMiller's dumbass tries to aura farm and shit. And he pays the price as he gets his leg fucked up by the destroyed chopper. Now I have to carry his big ass to the extraction point while also taking out any patrol we might find along the way. We hear some enemies, so I put MacMiller down behind a car and prepare to engage the enemies. I take down 2 and the last one throws a grenade and it almost blows MacMiller's shit apart. I then take care of the last one. MacMiller says that there are more enemies coming from the south. I shoot at one that's taking cover behind the stairs, and I decide to let the other one go. You'll see why that's a big mistake. I then encounter more enemies in front of me, so I put MacMiller down, and the guy that I let live shoots me in the fucking back. I fix my mistake, and I make sure that this dude is dead as fuck by shooting his body like 20 extra times. I see a chopper coming in, and it starts to throw down ropes. So I shoot all the enemies before they hit the ground, so we don't gotta worry about those motherfuckers at all. We then make it to another building when I notice a dog. So I decide to put MacMiller down, but his big ass gets in the way, so I have to re-pick him back up and then put him down. Then MacMiller tells me that I need to clear the area for any remaining enemies, which I do so. Now in the clear, we exit the building and I enter this one that has a pool inside. I use the ladder of the diving board to get a view of the area from above when I notice 2 hostiles. I shoot and I take them both rapidly out. We both make it to the extraction point by the Ferris wheel. Our chopper is waiting for us at a safe distance. I put down MacMiller behind the Ferris wheel where he can provide sniper support. I then set up a perimeter by placing claymores in the area. I use the stand as my sniper position, and we wait for the enemies to enter the area. We open fire, shooting anyone that enters our crosshairs.
Got him. Tango down. He's down. Target neutralized. He's down.
After some time, they find my location, and they throw grenades, and they blow my shit up. Since the forward area was full of enemies, I decided to put some extra claymores at the very front.
Good spot to snipe from and go pro.
The enemies hit some of my claymores when enemy choppers enter the area. I make my best attempt to shoot as many hostiles coming down the ropes as possible to avoid as much pressure as I can. 2 more choppers show up, and I try to shoot down more enemies as they're falling down the rope. And while that's happening, enemies on my right flank flush me out with grenades. So I back up to the Ferris wheel, and I notice these 5 guys by the car, and I proceed to take shots at them. MacMiller tells the chopper that we are heavily outnumbered. At that very moment, I get attacked by a dog before I snap his shit in half. Hostiles make their way to the Ferris wheel from my left flank, where they take me out, guns blazing.
Enemy choppers!
This time, I decide to position myself by the bumper cars. And here, I go into ultra survival mode. I snipe some guys off the rope. I then use my P90 to engage the enemies in the central area. Now here's where things get really intense. I drop down while outnumbered. I use my sniper to take down one of the guys. In an instant, a dog attacks me and I snap his shit. Getting back up, I get hit and take down the guy that's pushing straight towards me. I reload, see another in front of me, and I snipe his brains off. Then I snipe this guy by the upside down car. I then go back to the upside down car and take this guy out. I then snipe one more before this guy with an MP5 rushes me and nearly kills me. And he does, but because this dog attacks me, the animation saves my life and then I kill the dog. Thank you for your sacrifice. I swap to my P90 and engage the two targets directly in front of me. Then a team of guys from the left make a push. I take down one trying to get into cover, and then I take down the other one. I reload and a flashbang gets thrown into me. So out of pure survival, I begin firing while completely blinded, and I'm able to take down this guy and then another guy that's pushing forward with a shotgun. And then I fire at the guys pushing towards me. Nearly out of ammo, I get into cover behind this bumper car and I grab a G3 assault rifle. And I continue my fight until I get shot. I duck down, but instead of reloading, I grab an MP5, fall back to the bumper car track, and end up taking down this dog before it can attack me. After that, I am simply shooting at anyone I have an angle on. After minutes of pure willpower, the chopper finally lands, and then I have to make my way to MacMiller. Before that, I take down this guy who has an RPG aimed at my chopper that's positioned by the Ferris wheel. I then make my move to go get MacMiller. Before I get him, I quickly turn around and I see a dog and its owner trying to attack me, so I smoke both of them. After all of the fighting, I'm finally able to get MacMiller onto my shoulders, and we make a rush for the chopper, where we get in and we barely escape with our lives.
Now you got me fucked up, okay, ayy, tryna walk away. I've been chillin' as of late, but these feelings never change. Get the fuck out of my way,